Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. Welcome to this detailed troubleshooting guide for DTC P0842, which stands for Transmission Fluid Pressure Switch A, Second Clutch Circuit Low, specifically for the Honda CRV models from 2011 to 2016. This diagnostic trouble code indicates an issue within the electrical circuit associated with the transmission fluid pressure switch for the second clutch. This problem is critical because it directly affects the transmission's ability to manage fluid pressure appropriately, leading to potential performance issues in the vehicle. Before we begin troubleshooting, it's important to understand that this code cannot be caused by any mechanical problems within the transmission itself, focusing instead on the electrical components involved. We will reference common components such as the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, the Transmission Fluid Pressure Switch, and the relevant wiring connections during our diagnosis. Let's delve into the specifics of what triggers this code and how to resolve it effectively. The DTC P0842 reflects a specific malfunction related to the transmission fluid pressure switch A, which pertains to the second clutch circuit. Located within the transmission assembly, this fluid pressure switch plays a crucial role in managing hydraulic pressure necessary for optimal gear shifts. It communicates vital pressure data to the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, which utilizes this information to regulate shifting performance and overall driving dynamics. The fluid pressure switch operates based on the hydraulic fluid's pressure and condition, effectively sending signals to the PCM regarding whether the circuit is functioning within normal parameters. If the pressure is too low, the PCM may erroneously interpret this as a fault, thereby triggering the DTC P0842. Therefore, it's essential to thoroughly check this component and its connections to diagnose the issue accurately. Several possible causes could lead to the activation of DTC P0842. Firstly, an electrical circuit problem is a primary suspect, which can include damaged wiring or poor connections affecting signal transmission. Another likely cause is a faulty transmission fluid pressure switch A itself, which may not provide the correct signals even when the circuit is intact. Wiring shorts to ground can also create significant issues, leading to false signals being sent to the PCM and ultimately triggering this DTC. Lastly, loose electrical connections can lead to intermittent contact, causing the circuit to drop out momentarily, which would also contribute to this error code. Understanding these potential causes will guide you effectively through the troubleshooting process. The symptoms associated with DTC P0842 can significantly affect the driving experience. Drivers may notice transmission performance issues, such as rough shifting or delayed engagement into gear. These manifestations typically occur because the PCM relies on accurate fluid pressure signals to manage gear changes smoothly. Additionally, the illumination of warning lights on the dashboard, particularly check engine or transmission indicators, can signal that an underlying issue, such as DTC P0842, exists. If left unaddressed, these symptoms may compromise the overall drivability of the vehicle, impacting not just performance, but also safety and reliability. Therefore, prompt attention to the symptoms rather than just the code itself is essential for effective vehicle operation. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0842 involves verifying the signal from the second pressure switch using the Auto Diagnostics system, or HDS. Begin by turning the ignition switch to the on second position without starting the engine to initiate the system diagnostics. Next, clear any existing DTCs with the HDS to start with a clean slate. It is crucial to then check the parameters associated with the second pressure switch while ensuring the vehicle is not in second gear. you are monitoring whether the switch reads off or on. If the current condition matches the threshold set in the system, the signal from the second pressure switch can be deemed operational and in good condition. If it does not match, this will guide you towards the next diagnostic step, ensuring a systematic approach to identifying where the fault lies within the circuit. In the second step of troubleshooting DTC P0842, we aim to verify the operation under normal conditions. Start the engine and allow it to warm up to the standard operating temperature, which can be confirmed by checking if the radiator fan comes on. Once the vehicle is warmed up, perform a test drive, ensuring to engage fourth gear for at least 2 seconds. During this process, utilize the HDS to monitor the OBD status for any indications of DTC P0842. If the HDS indicates a failure regarding this code, it confirms that the issue is indeed present and requires further investigation. If it indicates passed, the system may have intermittent issues requiring a check for shorts to ground, highlighting the importance of a thorough diagnostic approach in identifying the underlying problem. Step 3 involves a more hands-on approach where the focus is on directly inspecting the transmission fluid pressure switch A. Begin by turning the ignition switch to lock 0 to ensure electrical safety. Next, disconnect the 1P connector from the transmission fluid pressure switch A, second clutch. After disconnecting, turn the ignition switch back to the on position and use the HDS to check parameters once again. Specifically, you are looking for the state of the second pressure switch to determine whether it reads off under these disconnected conditions. If it does match the expected threshold, this indicates that the switch is likely faulty and should be replaced. Conversely, if the readings reflect that the switch is operational, it likely points to the next steps involving wiring and connections. This methodological approach aids in isolating the source of the problem accurately. In this fourth step, we delve into checking for potential wiring issues contributing to DTC P0842. First, turn the ignition switch to lock 0 to ensure all systems are powered down. Utilize the HDS to jump the SCS line, which allows you to test for short circuits in the wiring. Following this, disconnect the PCM connector B, which is a 49-pin connector, to isolate the PCM from the system for further inspection. At this stage, you will assess continuity between the specified test points, where test point 1 is located at the transmission fluid pressure switch A, second clutch, connector, and test point 2 is established at body ground. Confirming continuity between these points means there is a short to ground in the wiring that needs repairing. If there's no continuity observed, check for updates to the PCM software or consider replacing the PCM. This step is critical in ensuring no electrical faults exist due to wiring issues that may lead to false readings in the system. The final repair verification process for DTC P0842 is crucial to ensure that all repairs and diagnostics have successfully resolved the issue. Begin by reconnecting all previously disconnected connectors to restore the electrical pathways to their operational state. Next, turn the ignition switch back to the on or second position and use the HDS to clear any stored DTCs in the system. After clearing, start the engine and allow it to reach its normal operating temperature, verifying that the radiator fan operates. It's essential to conduct a test drive, focusing on both second and fourth gears for at least 2 seconds. This allows you to monitor whether the HDS now reflects a passed status for DTC P0842. Confirming that the code is no longer active means that the troubleshooting, repairs, and any component replacements were effective. Completing the diagnostic cycle. If the code remains, further investigation will be required, potentially indicating additional issues within the system. To prevent future occurrences of DTC P0842, a proactive approach to maintenance is essential. Start by regularly checking the transmission fluid levels and conditions, ensuring that any contaminants or old fluid are promptly replaced. Inspecting wiring connections routinely can help identify any potential corrosive or loose connections that may cause intermittent faults. Keeping the powertrain control module software up to date can also mitigate issues, as manufacturers often release updates to address known glitches or improve system performance. Incorporating routine diagnostic checks into regular vehicle maintenance can effectively catch potential issues before they trigger performance complications, ensuring resilient operation of the vehicle. Adopting these practices will not only extend the life of your vehicle, but will also enhance safety and drivability. In summary, DTC P0842 indicates that there is a low circuit issue related to the transmission fluid pressure switch A for the second clutch. The first step in addressing this problem is to check the functionality of the transmission fluid switch itself, followed by a thorough inspection of the wiring conditions and connections involved. It's vital to interpret the readings from the HDS accurately and to follow a systematic approach to identify failures. Upon repairs, perform thorough testing to verify that the system works as intended before concluding the repair process. Adoption of proactive maintenance practices can help prevent any similar issues in the future. Ultimately, understanding the role of each component involved aids in effective diagnosis and repair, ensuring your Honda CRV remains reliable on the road. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.